Ever wonder why your neighbor's station wagon could smoke a Corvette at the stoplight? In the 1970s, when muscle cars were being strangled by emissions regulations, some manufacturers found clever ways to hide serious performance under unassuming sheet metal. What if I told you that behind those wood grain panels and vinyl roofs lurked engines pushing well over 400 cubic inches? These weren't just family cars. They were wolves in sheep's clothing. And today we're counting down the 8 most surprising sleepers from an era when performance had to go undercover. Number 8, 1970 Mercury Cyclone spoiler. While Mercury had built a reputation for upscale family cruisers, the 1970 Cyclone spoiler was their rebellious departure from that image. With its aggressive Coke bottle styling and distinctive front end, featuring a protruding nose cone and recessed grille, the Cyclone spoiler demanded attention without broadcasting its true capabilities. What truly set this machine apart was hiding under that sculpted hood, a standard 429 cubic inch V8 with Ram air induction generating a robust 370 horsepower. While those in the know could opt for the fearsome Super Cobra jet package that bumped output to 375 horsepower and 450 pound-foot of torque, the Cyclone spoiler backed up its power with serious hardware. Functional hood scoops that force-fed cool air to the hungry V8, a competition handling package featuring heavy-duty springs and shocks, and front disc brakes that provided stopping power to match its acceleration. Despite these performance credentials, Mercury kept the exterior styling remarkably restrained. Simple tape stripes instead of wild graphics, subdued badging, and an overall clean design that didn't scream street racer. This combination of brute force and visual restraint created a genuine sleeper that could embarrass many more celebrated muscle cars at stoplights across America. Yet the Cyclone spoiler remained perpetually overshadowed by its Ford cousins, trapped by Mercury's sophisticated brand image that prevented it from achieving the same legendary status as the Torino Cobra or Mustang Boss models. And Mercury wasn't alone. Other manufacturers were crafting their own wolves in sheep's clothing during this challenging period for American performance cars. Number 7, 1971 AMC Matador 401. Among those manufacturers producing undercover muscle was American Motors Corporation, whose 1971 Matador represented perhaps the purest definition of a sleeper car ever built. This mid-size offering from America's smallest automaker shared its platform with the larger Ambassador, but maintained an utterly conventional appearance that gave zero indication of what might lurk beneath its hood. While base models came with modest 6-cylinder engines, AMC quietly offered the ultra-rare Machine Go package that transformed this family sedan into a legitimate muscle car contender. What made the Matador's performance package unique was AMC's commitment to absolute anonymity. Unlike competitors who couldn't resist adding at least some visual flourishes to their performance models, the Machine Go Matador received absolutely zero exterior modifications. The 401 cubic inch V8 produced an impressive 330 horsepower and a pavement-twisting 420 pound-foot of torque, complemented by a heavy-duty suspension system with rear sway bar, power disc brakes, and a dual exhaust system. Number 6, 1972 Pontiac Luxury Le Mans 455 HO. The insurance companies thought they had won the war against muscle cars by making models like the GTO prohibitively expensive to insure. What they didn't anticipate was Pontiac's strategic counterattack, an ingenious performance machine hiding behind the unassuming Luxury Le Mans nameplate that completely flew under the insurance industry's radar. In 1972, Pontiac engineers created what might be the most brilliant insurance loophole in automotive history. By offering the formidable 455 cubic inch high-output V8 in the Luxury Le Mans, they delivered GTO equivalent performance without the premium triggering badge. This 300 horsepower powertrain was complemented by a functional ram air system that fed cool air directly to the engine, a precision-shifting 4-speed manual transmission, and a safe T-track differential that effectively put power to the pavement. What truly made this car a GTO in disguise was the Y99 handling package. This comprehensive performance upgrade featured heavy-duty suspension components, aggressive G60x15 white letter tires, and distinctive 15x7-inch Rally 2 wheels, identical equipment to what you'd find on a GTO. Yet insurance companies classified it as a family car rather than a muscle machine. Number 5, 1975 Chevrolet Nova 9C1 police package. While rare Pontiacs hid their performance from insurance companies, The oil crisis of 1974 created an unexpected opportunity for another kind of sleeper car, this time aimed at law enforcement. As gas prices skyrocketed, police departments faced a serious dilemma. Their full-size patrol cruisers were draining department budgets with their dismal fuel economy. Chevrolet recognized this problem and developed an ingenious solution in the form of the Nova 9 C1 police package. This unassuming compact wasn't just a regular Nova with a light bar. Chevrolet engineers transplanted genuine performance DNA from the Camaro Z28 into this modest police car, giving it handling capabilities that would surprise criminals expecting to outmaneuver a typical squad car. The Nova 9 C1 featured the Z28's quick ratio steering box, upgraded shock absorbers, and anti-roll bars, transforming this economy car into a pursuit-ready machine. Under the hood, the Nova 9 C1 packed a 350 cubic inch V8 that produced a modest 155 horsepower. What it lacked in raw power, it made up for in balanced performance. When paired with its 3-speed automatic transmission, heavy-duty brakes, and 3.08 rear axle ratio, the Nova 9 C1 delivered remarkable handling and braking capabilities that outperformed the larger, heavier cruisers it was replacing. Major metropolitan departments quickly recognized the Nova's advantages. The compact dimensions made it ideal for navigating crowded urban streets, while its improved fuel economy kept patrol cars on the beat longer without refueling. Los Angeles, Boston, St. Louis, and Jacksonville all adopted these compact cruisers, proving that effective police work didn't require massive vehicles. Number 4, 1975 Buick Century GS 455. While police departments were embracing compact cruisers, Buick was crafting something entirely different, a sleeper hiding beneath a veneer of respectability. The 1975 Century GS maintained Buick's reputation for refined motoring while concealing serious muscle beneath its sophisticated exterior. What made this particular sleeper so effective was its nearly perfect disguise. The Century was widely perceived as a comfortable, mid-sized car for mature drivers, not a stoplight challenger. Behind its gentlemanly appearance, the Century GS packed a formidable 455 cubic inch V8, generating 245 horsepower and 360 pound-foot of torque. Impressive figures for the emissions-restricted mid-70s. Most buyers and competitors overlooked this potent combination, especially as Buick's marketing emphasized comfort rather than performance. Period road tests regularly underestimated the Century, focusing on its luxurious appointments instead of its acceleration potential. The Century's credibility as a performance machine was further demonstrated when Buick supplied the official pace car for the 1975 Indianapolis 500. The track-ready pace car featured the 455 V8 dual exhaust system and upgraded suspension, though replicas sold to the public received a milder 350 cubic inch engine package. Number 3, 1976 Plymouth Volare Roadrunner 360. While Buick was maintaining its performance heritage through upscale packaging, Plymouth executed perhaps the most covert performance operation of the decade. The iconic Roadrunner badge found an unlikely sanctuary in 1976, attached to what most considered a basic economy car. Plymouth's strategy was brilliantly simple: transform the Roadrunner from a standalone muscle car into an option package on the humble Volare. This transformation created the ultimate sleeper. The Volare Roadrunner looked virtually identical to standard models, with only subtle visual differences distinguishing the approximately 11,000 units produced. What made this anonymity especially valuable was how effectively it concealed the car's performance credentials from insurance companies already hostile toward muscle cars. Under that unassuming hood sat a 360 cubic inch V8 producing 245 horsepower and 340 pound-foot of torque, enough muscle to propel the compact through quarter-mile runs in the mid-14-second range. The performance hardware continued underneath with a factory suspension system featuring torsion bars up front, heavy-duty leaf springs in the rear, and a robust 8.75-inch rear axle. Number 2, 1977 Ford LTD2 Sport. As impressive as modified Roadrunners were, Ford was executing an entirely different game of automotive identity crisis. The 1977 LTD2 Sport was perhaps the decade's most perplexing vehicular contradiction, a performance car platform wearing luxury car clothing. This peculiar creation stemmed from Ford's decision to consolidate multiple model lines, resulting in a car that confused both buyers and automotive historians alike. The Sport concealed its true nature beneath formal styling and luxury marketing, but its DNA revealed the truth. Built on an updated Torino chassis, a platform engineered for performance, the LTD2 Sport offered substantial power through its optional 400 cubic inch V8. This power plant generated 170 horsepower and an impressive 400 pound-foot of torque, delivering substantial thrust when needed. What truly set the LTD2 apart was its sophisticated underpinnings. The full perimeter frame incorporated 14 rubber body mounts for a smooth, refined ride. Meanwhile, the rear suspension utilized a 4-link solid axle with coil springs, a setup that handled power delivery remarkably well when properly tuned. This engineering gave the LTD2 Sport genuine performance credentials despite its luxury car appearance. Unfortunately, Ford's timing couldn't have been worse. The LTD2 arrived just as General Motors was downsizing its full-size lineup, making Ford's offering appear oversized and outdated. Combined with marketing that emphasized comfort over capability, most buyers completely overlooked the car's muscle car foundation. The LTD2 Sport remained what its creators never intended, a true sleeper hiding in plain sight. Number 1. 1979 Chrysler 300. While Ford's LTD2 was being overlooked by buyers, Chrysler was orchestrating a quiet resurrection of one of the most storied nameplates in American performance history. In 1979, after an 8-year absence, the legendary 300 badge returned, not on a purpose-built performance machine, but as a special package applied to the personal luxury Cordoba coupe. This subtlety was precisely what made it one of the decade's most effective sleepers. A casual observer would struggle to distinguish the 300 from any other Cordoba cruising the boulevard. Its white exterior, with tasteful red and blue pinstripes, black egg crate grille with a small 300 badge, and subtle fender louvers kept its performance aspirations hidden from all but the most discerning eyes. The interior, however, told a different story, with its red leather bucket seats, leather-wrapped steering wheel, turned aluminum dash trim, and complete sport gauge package featuring a prominent tachometer. The real surprise came under the hood. The 360 cubic inch V8 with its 4-barrel carburetor produced 195 horsepower and an impressive 340 pound-foot of torque, enough to move the nearly 2-ton luxury coupe with unexpected authority. In a fascinating twist of automotive history, this overlooked Chrysler actually outmuscled that year's base Corvette, which produced only 185 horsepower from its own V8.